2005 Henri, following on from 04, a big ask, but gee, this looks pretty good, this 05. Difficult vintage, or?
Yes, Peter, the 2005 vintage had a big rains above average in winter and early into spring, and even in early summer. So December there was still some heavy rains until it started to dry out. So made viticulture obviously a lot more challenging than the previous years, 04, and then obviously the following ones of 06. So, but I think the 05 Henri, it does suit that style, just a little bit more softer tannins, and some of the heavier soils that Kalimna was right down the alley for this wine.
Yes. Well, when we look at vintages like this, it's all about relativities, isn't it? I actually use the word difficult, but only in a relative sense. Like we've noticed, Steve, 05 bin wines in particular just get better and better in the bottle, and I think the Henri is pretty much like that as well.
Yeah, the 05 Henri shows terrifically well now, but I think its best days are still to come.
Yeah.
Peter, some of the fruit was obviously from the Barossa, but also areas like McLaren Vale and even Robes.
Yes.
Had some parcels this year. So what does Robe add to Henri?
Well, Robe's come to the rescue in a few years. Like the difficult 2000 vintage contained a significant percentage of Robe Shiraz and Henri, but no, a lovely pure fruited expression, a little bit different to Coonawarra, a little bit different to McLaren Vale and Barossa, but it does add to that flavour pool. And it is a great area to draw from when things are not quite as they should be in some other areas, so offering us choice.
And there's also a little bit of Shiraz in there from Clare as well, so the Clare Valley also adds another dimension to the wine as well.
Yes. Well, in the old days, you know, we used to get away with a few things. We used to call this wine Henri Claret, but there is a misconception that every vintage is 100% Shiraz. This one, Steve, isn't.
No, this one's just over 10% Cabernet. And that adds another dimension to the wine. 2004, the previous vintage, was about 4% Cabernet. 2003 was 100% Shiraz, so it does very much depend on the particular vintage.
So in many ways it is like Grange, isn't it? You know, not many Granges are 100% Shiraz, not many Henris are 100% Shiraz. But the John Davern style of winemaking, the creator of Henri, very different to the Max Schubert style in the old days. What are those major differences, Steve?
I suppose the major differences is certainly the oak treatment, whereas Grange and Max Schubert, all of Grange is fermented in, or barrel fermented in 100% new American oak. St. Henri, we're relying on fruit character, fruit complexity, and that all goes off into larger vats. These vats would be about 1,500 litres in capacity, and the majority of them would be over 50 years old.
Gee, that old. So I guess after even 10 years, oak doesn't impart oak flavour, or as importantly, it doesn't impart oak-derived tannins. So at 50 years of age, there wouldn't be any impartation.
No, none at all. And it's getting oak maturation, but it's not actually getting oak character.
Yes.
So it's all about the fruit.
Yes. So when we smell this, like all Henris, we are getting a true pure fruited expression, aren't we? You know, that just sings, but unencumbered by oak. And the palate should theoretically be very different to the other Shirazes we've just looked at. You know, the texture is the hallmark, I think, of Henri. But let's have a little taste of this 05 and see if it lives up to its reputation.
Very smooth and got great complexity and great mouthfeel.
Yeah,
Depth of
really
flavour.
good balance already as a young wine.
Yes, but it's not as simple as saying, oh, it's fruity. You know, there are layers of flavour and the beautiful Shiraz fruits. You know, this wine now is over 3 years of age, and I think it's starting to take on complexities that we've often attributed partially to oak. Now, that's just a perceptual thing. This is very much a first-rate Australian style of Shiraz.
What are you thinking of the ageing ability of this wine?
Well, all Henris go quite the distance. 2005, though, I'd say not quite in the same league as 2002 and 04 in terms of longevity. It'll probably only go 30, 35 years.
That all?
That's all.
That's if you've got the patience. I think I might drink mine now.
Why not?